So, it's me, JDefenseAnime, actually making a video about anime. Go figure, instead of random gotcha stuff. Because it's probably been, I don't know, like 8 or 9 months since my last anime one, which is pretty sad. But, life. Hopefully gonna be getting back into it this year more so. But the Crunchyroll Anime of the Year nominees just came out, and I actually haven't looked at them yet, but I've been seeing a lot of people complaining on Twitter and Reddit about bad picks or things not being represented when they should, so I figured I would do a blind reaction video, which is actually kind of nostalgic because one of the first videos I ever did on the channel was reacting to the 2018 nominees, I think. So 3 years later, here we are doing it all over again. Yay. Let's see if they're as bad as everyone makes them out to be. Not that they're necessarily bad. Just because somebody disagrees doesn't mean it's not a good pick. And obviously this is a jury. They probably, I would like to think, have a good variety of opinions, and that's why they might pick things that people wouldn't necessarily expect to be picked or want to be picked, but we'll find out as we look. Anime of the Year nominees: 86, Jujutsu Kaisen, Ranking of Kings, Attack on Titan, Odd Taxi, Sunny Boy. That seems pretty fine to me. 86 was huge, Jujutsu was huge, Attack on Titan's huge. Odd Taxi is a cool original series, which really surprised me. Ranking of Kings I haven't watched, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about. Sunny Boy also haven't watched, planning on watching both of these. I heard Sunny Boy is more contentious, like you either really like it or you're really not into it. So it'll be interesting to see what I think. The one thing I noticed with this, aside from Sunny Boy being kind of surprising based on what I've heard, is Jujutsu and Ranking of Kings, because this is just the second half, which makes sense because in the 2021 awards, if a show started airing in fall of 2020, it should be in the 2021 awards because it's still ongoing and then ends in 2021. Ranking of Kings started in fall of 2021 and is still ongoing and won't end until like March 2022. So it feels weird to have this in Anime of the Year when it's not over yet, because we won't actually know how it ends. If it totally drops the ball, then that's kind of, and it gets Anime of the Year, like, oh great, we gave Anime of the Year to something that is actually not great. Not that I expect that will happen based on what I've heard of it, but just something to consider. 86 is kind of the same. There's still 2 episodes left coming out in March, but at least then, like, they got through 10 out of the 12 episodes for the second core. So you can probably still have a pretty good impression of it. Like, what are the odds the last 2 episodes totally drastically change what you thought of the first core and 10/12ths of the second one? So Sunny Boy kind of surprises me, but I wouldn't say this is terrible. Next category, best, wow, go right from Anime of the Year to Best Boy, okay. Senku, Miyamura, Otokawa, Oji, Mikey, and Draken. I haven't seen Tokyo Revengers, I don't have any interest in it, so I can't really comment on them. Again, Ranking of Kings, haven't seen, can't comment. I think these are 3 good picks. Senku, Miyamura, and Otokawa, they're all good characters, they're all likable. I guess Otokawa, I don't know if I'd say best boy, like best character or best protagonist I think might be more fitting, but best boy, I don't know. To each their own, but I can't really comment on these. I know Tokyo Revengers was pretty popular, so Mikey I think is the one I've seen a lot of attention for online. Like, I went to Anime NYC this year and I saw a handful of Mikey cosplays and a lot of Tokyo Revengers in general. So, I think there are other ones that I would put in here. I think Shin from 86 might be a decent pick. Now I'm totally blanking off on characters, of course, when I actually need to talk about them. The My Senpai is Annoying guys, I think, are both pretty good. Couple people from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, I think, would be good picks. I don't know. There's definitely a lot. Fruits Basket final season, a lot of guys from that would be good for Best Boy. Yeah, I don't think this is bad either, based on what I know. Best Girl, Lena, Toru, Nobara, Sarasa, Komi. I think these are fine. Lena, I like, very popular. Toru, I like, very popular. Nobara, I like, very popular. I have no idea who Sarasa is. Komi, I like, very popular. Wonder Egg I didn't watch, but I know she was very popular as well when that was airing, so I mean, I think this is fine. I, again, would pick different potential nominees if I was doing it. I will be doing it, cough cough, in a few weeks for my own awards, but I think this is fine for the most part. Maybe the quintuplets would be at least one of them in here. Is kind of surprising that they don't show up. Again, My Senpai is Annoying, I think probably should have had a good chance of showing up here. But, you know, it is what it is. They have some under or not as known stuff and some super popular ones. Best Protagonist, Eren, Itadori, Joe, Otokawa, Boji. I think these are pretty fine again. I haven't seen Megalobox. I mean, I haven't seen half of these again. I've heard a lot of good things about Megalobox too. Again, same thing for Ranking of Kings. Wonder Egg, I know, supposedly crashed and burned at the end, but if they were still a good character, then the ending, probably not a huge deal. Eren, Yuji, and Otokawa, I agree, they're all very good protagonists. Best Antagonist, Eren shows up again. I think that's kind of strange if you're gonna pick Eren, like, pick either protagonist or antagonist. I think protagonist makes more sense. I mean, I know he kind of is opposed to a lot of people and could, by definition, technically be considered an antagonist depending on how you look at the story, but I don't think putting him an antagonist really makes sense. Protagonist makes more sense. Shigaraki is fine, Yano fine, Echidna. I haven't finished Season 2 yet, so I can't really say, but based on the first half of Season 2, yeah, she's good. I kind of figured she wouldn't show up in the second half as much. I'm still watching it right now. I don't know. If she shows up a lot, then sure, but I thought she's mostly the antagonist last season. Skate, I didn't watch. Tokyo Revengers, I didn't watch. First time Skate has popped up. I heard some good things about that. I don't know, I wasn't super interested in it, but visually it looked pretty cool based on some things I saw. Best fight scene, Warhammer vs. Eren was good. Naruto, and whatever, Boruto I don't watch. Jujutsu, that was definitely a good fight. Jujutsu again, this was also a good fight. Elma vs. Toru and Kobayashi, that was a good fight. Whenever KyoAni decides to do action animation, I feel like they always deliver, and they certainly kept that up in Dragon Maid, so that's kind of funny to get that thrown in there, but I don't disagree. Vivi and Yugo, I also thought that was a very good fight. It really shows Wit's skill with doing stuff like that. With doing action, obviously. But this fight in particular is the one that I remember the most when I think back on the show, so it's nice to see that pop up. I'm kind of surprised there's no My Hero here. I didn't finish watching Season 5. I got really bored in the first half and never went back. I will at some point, but given how popular it is and how much Crunchyroll seems to like My Hero, I kind of figured that would show up at some point. I guess it's kind of funny that Naruto is in the fight and Boruto isn't, even though it's Boruto's show, but whatever. Action was kind of iffy this year. I mean, I don't think there was a lot. Not to say there weren't good action shows, but like there wasn't a huge variety, so I could see it being kind of hard to pick from some of these, at least based on what I watched. Best Director: Attack on Titan, Jujutsu, Megalobox, Odd Taxi, Sunny Boy, Wonder Egg, and the names right above them. I, again, didn't watch half of them. Since Wonder Egg crashed and burned, I kind of wonder about that. I mean, maybe that's more story or production related rather than director. I don't know. I mean, I could see Odd Taxi and Jujutsu probably being the standouts for director, at least based on these three, which I did watch. Sunny Boy, again, I heard you either really like it or really don't, but I've heard it's super unique and pretty interesting, so I could, maybe see that. Megalobox, again, I only heard good things, so I don't think any of these are necessarily bad picks, but I guess I don't know quite exactly what you would be evaluating on when it comes to best director. I mean, I know what directing is, but I just, I don't have that in my awards because I don't feel comfortable enough talking about it to really adequately pick and then explain why. But from the little things I do know, which is from a film course I took in college a few years ago, I think these ones, Odd Taxi and Jujutsu, probably would be the top ones. Best Animation: Demon Slayer, Jujutsu, Kobayashi, Mushoku Tensei, Vivi, Wonder Egg. I think all of those are very good picks. All have excellent animation. Like I said, I haven't seen Wonder Egg, but I've seen clips, and I think the character designs, the art, the animation, all very, very good. Vivi was excellent. Dragon Maid was excellent, like the fight scene mentioned above. Mushoku Tensei was incredible, art and animation wise. Jujutsu, the fights and the action, super fluid. Demon Slayer, I mean, you can never go wrong with Demon Slayer if you're picking animation. I mean, this is reused from a movie, I believe, and they added some extra stuff to it, so it seems a little unfair to maybe compare movie quality visuals with 5 TV series, but maybe that's being nitpicky because this is technically a TV series. It just reuses a lot from the movie. Best character design: Jujutsu, Odd Taxi, Ranking of Kings, Skate, Vivi, Wonder Egg. I don't really have any issues with these. Ranking of Kings, I'm not super familiar with how the characters look, but like I said, Skate I haven't seen, but I thought character designs were very good in that. Vivi, pretty good. I mean, some of the faces can look kind of in my opinion, but there's a big variety in designs, so that's not bad. Wonder Egg, excellent. Odd Taxi, a lot of unique designs because of all of the animals. That was good. Yeah, man, I keep stumbling every time I say this. Jujutsu was pretty good as a whole for character designs. I'm trying to think of other ones that I would maybe put in for character designs. I wish I had some of my favorites. I mean, I didn't even know what the categories would be off the top of my head before I clicked on this, so I'm just having a total lapse in judgment here. What did I like for character design? Horimiya, I think, was decent. Case Study of Vanitas. That was very, very good character design. Oh, Mushoku Tensei. How is that not in? The Mushoku designs, very, very good. I would definitely replace Vivi and maybe Ranking of Kings at one of those two with Mushoku. That was excellent, excellent. Tacto P had pretty good character designs. That's probably all I can think of off the top of my head. So I think a couple of these could be replaced, but what's here, these aren't bad picks by any means. Best score, aka soundtrack, 86, Demon Slayer, Odd Taxi, Megalobox, Vivi, Wonder Egg. I'm seeing a lot of the same 6 shows over and over again. which I get, they're good. But it's getting kind of boring to see the same things over and over again. It would be nice if there was more representation to some extent. But, not to say these aren't bad. 86, excellent soundtrack. Hiroyuki Sawano, never goes wrong. Kota Yamamoto has popped up a few times recently in stuff that I've watched, and I've always been impressed. Yuki Kajiura can never go wrong. Odd Taxi had some good stuff, but I don't know about best overall. Wonder Egg I didn't watch. Megalobox I didn't watch. Vivi, very good overall. Both the insert songs and the actual orchestral soundtrack, both were great. I think Mushoku, again, probably could have been a nominee here. Fruits Basket had a good soundtrack. Aquatope had a good soundtrack. Tacto P Destiny, I was kind of iffy on the show as a whole, but the soundtrack was really good, so maybe that deserved a nod here. Attack on Titan had a good soundtrack. But this year, I think, soundtrack-wise, excellent. Across the board, one of the categories I have in my awards is best, single soundtrack song. Whatever, because I pay a lot of attention to music when I'm listening. And as of right now, I think I'm between 20 and 25 potentials, on my short list, and then I narrow it down to 6 when I actually do the awards. There are so many good songs this year. It's unreal. So, I'm excited to potentially get even more on that list, and if Megalobox and Wonder Egg have good music, maybe I'll get around to checking those out at some point. But anyways, best VA performance Japanese, Sakura Ayane as Gabby. That was a very good performance. Gabby is obviously a very controversial character, but Sakura Ayane did a very good job as her. Yuki Kaji as Eren Yeager, very good. Natsuki Hinai is Otokawa. I honestly didn't even know that was Natsuki Hinai until I just read that. I think I nominated him as the main character from The Day I Became a God, which the show itself was kind of, to put it mildly, the ending was garbage, in my opinion. If you liked it, that's cool, to each their own. I really liked it up until the last 3 to 4 episodes, and then it totally just dropped off for me. But I did really like the music and the voice acting in that, and he was solid. I would nominate Natsuki Hinai as Vanitas from Case Study Vanitas instead of Otokawa. I think he had a much bigger range as that character. Lupin I didn't watch, Soma Spider I didn't watch, but Aoi Yuki, a very strong voice actress. Wonder Egg didn't watch, can't comment on that. There was a lot of good voice acting performances. It's kind of unfortunate that they lump the male and female performances together in one category. In my awards, I split it up, so there's 6 male and 6 female, so you get, it just highlights more of the strong performances throughout the year, I guess, to be able to have 6 of each instead of 6 overall. But again, a lot of the same. Odd Taxi and Wonder Egg. I liked Odd Taxi, don't get me wrong. Attack on Titan I liked. Wonder Egg I didn't watch, but I'd have to count how many unique shows are in here, but I'm getting pretty tired of seeing the same things over and over again, and there's still about 10 categories left. Best voice acting English, I watch sub only, so I can't comment on any of this. I recognize the name Brittany Cox. I don't know anyone else. Best opening, always a fun award. Attack on Titan, Beastars, Kobayashi, Tokyo Revengers, Jujutsu, Odd Taxi. I would probably disagree with most of this list. I didn't care for the Attack on Titan one. I don't know if that's controversial. I thought that was the worst out of all the Attack on Titan openings. Visually, I don't know, meh. Beastars, that was a cool one. Jujutsu, I don't really remember this off the top of my head. so I can't really say. Kobayashi one was pretty good. Tokyo Revengers I didn't watch. Odd Taxi, I liked the ending more than the opening, personally. Opening wasn't bad. I would definitely have a different list. And you can see what it is in 3.5 weeks, if you really want. But it's cool to see some different stuff. I mean, not really. Beastars is the only one that's different because these other 5 keep showing up over and over and over again. But that was cool. Link Click was really good. I don't see that in here. My Senpai is Annoying was really good. I haven't seen that show up at all, which is pretty disappointing. Maybe it will show up in a genre one. This is probably one of the weaker nominee lists out of all the categories so far. Best Ending, Attack on Titan, Beastars, Demon Slayer, Shadow's House, Skate, So I'm a Spider. Don't know the bottom 2. Shadow's House I didn't watch, but I did watch the ending song, and I think that was really good. Demon Slayer, I actually watched the movie, not the TV version, so I don't know what this is. Attack on Titan, I don't even remember what that is, so that probably says what I thought about it. Beastars, I still haven't watched Beastars. I heard good things about that ending. But I liked the opening, and I remember season 1 had cool openings and endings, so I wouldn't doubt that this is good. Again, very different list from what I would pick for some of mine. Man, again, totally blanking as I try and actually think about it. 86 had a good ending. And what else? Link Click had a good ending. Miruko-chan had a good ending. Mushoku's second ending, I think, was pretty good. Tacto P Destiny, again, musically that show was great. Openings and endings were great. Kobayashi's ending, I think, was decent, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Anyways. Best Action, Attack on Titan, I probably wouldn't put as action. I think that's more of a drama at this point. Early season, sure, but I mean, there's action scenes, but if I were to pick a category for Attack on Titan, I would say drama. Demon Slayer, Jujutsu, I don't know how to say this. I'm going to embarrass myself if I try. SS Dynazenon. I don't know. I didn't like Gridman, so I didn't watch this. Vivi, I don't know about action. Again, like, there's action scenes, but is it really an action show? Unless they're evaluating on, rather than best action show, best action in a show, in which case Vivi I could see a case for, because the action scenes, you know, they're not super frequent, but they're pretty impressive when they do pop up. Wonder Egg, I honestly had no idea that was action. I thought that was drama. Kind of surprised that that's in here. Again, I didn't watch it. I don't know. I thought it was a drama. Action was pretty weak this year, in my opinion. Like, in terms of actual action shows, like Demon Slayer, again, the movie, good. Jujutsu, very good. I didn't watch these, so I can't say. These two, I don't know if I would really consider action. But aside from those, like, I can't even think of any other big action. Like 86, I guess. Mushoku could be action. Tacto P Destiny, you could put that in action. Man, what else? Like, that's it. That's all I can think of. What other action even was there this year? Boruto? I don't know. I don't watch. I've never been into the older shonens. I don't know. Comedy, Nagatoro, Heaven's Design Team. When did that have an anime? I know of the manga. I know I read a chapter or two. I genuinely don't remember that having an anime. Okay. Komi, Life Lessons with Uramichi, Kobayashi, How is Odd Taxi and comedy does not make any sense to me. There were funny scenes, but that show is not a comedy. That's a drama, or it's a, like, thriller. I wouldn't put it in any category other than drama or thriller. Just because it has comedy in it doesn't make it a comedy. This makes no sense to me. Nagatoro, I didn't watch. I read the manga. I knew I would just get annoyed if I watched the show, because I hate the first few chapters of them. I like where it is now. I enjoy the manga like in its current state, but at the start I did not like it, and I thought about dropping it. So I just didn't watch the show because I knew the beginning of it would also annoy me. Komi, Kobayashi, Uramichi, I understand. Heaven's design team makes sense based on what I know of the manga, but I genuinely don't remember that being even announced, much less actually coming out. And Odd Taxi makes no sense. Definitely a lot of snubs in this category too, I feel like. Like The Great Jockey would have been good. Horimiya you could have put here. My Senpai is Annoying still hasn't shown up a single time. Great show overall. That was very funny, I thought. I don't know. I don't think is a. I don't understand Odd Taxi being in here. Drama 86, Fruits Basket, Kageki Shoujo, Odd Taxi, To Your Eternity, Wonder Egg. I don't know if I would put 86 in drama. If I were to pick one genre, I would probably pick action. Drama would probably be the second choice. And I don't think, it wasn't in action. So I don't know. I guess if they're not going to put it in action, then put it in drama. Fruits Basket, very, very good drama. That makes sense. Kageki Shoujo I didn't watch, but I heard decent things. Odd Taxi makes sense. To Your Eternity makes sense. I didn't finish that, actually. I read the manga for a while. I think I read the first 2 or 3 arcs in the manga. Wonder Egg. Based on what I know, again, I thought this was a drama, so I'm not surprised to see it in here, given that they nominated it for like 89%. 89 was a weird number, like 80% of the categories, but I don't know. Again, I haven't watched it. I just was caught off guard seeing it in action. Best Romance, Beastars. I don't want to see that in romance. Fruits Basket, Nagatoro, Horimiya, Komi, Duke of Death and His Maid. These make sense to me. I don't think they're bad picks. Beastars, I know it's kind of a controversial opinion. I wasn't super big on Beastars' first season. I didn't like how it ended. I don't think I ever would have even thought about nominating this for romance. Drama makes sense to me. Fruits Basket makes sense in romance. It's a very romance heavy show. Well, it's more drama than it is romance. But I don't think romance is still a good genre to put it in. Nagatoro, I don't know how far the first season got, but it still makes sense. Horimiya, Komi makes sense. Duke of Death I didn't watch, but makes sense based on what I know. Again, My Senpai is Annoying probably should be in here, but it's not, because they apparently forgot it exists. Well, I guess it was on Fun. Are these only shows that aired on Crunchyroll? No, because Komi was on Netflix. But like Mishoko has barely shown up, and that was good. In terms, I liked it. There's controversial aspects about it, to say the least, and I understand people have strong opinions about it, which is fine. But I just kind of figured that would show up more often, given, at least, like, if you purely take away the problematic content with some of the characters and story, purely production-wise, like art, animation, character design, voice acting, openings, endings, soundtrack, the story, like, I just said taking away story and characters, like, everything production-related and genre-related, very good. So I'm just surprised it hasn't shown up. Really annoyed that My Senpai is Annoying hasn't been showing up at all for whatever reason. But you know, the ones that are here, aside from maybe B-stars, make sense to me. Quintuplets, I feel like could have been in here over B-stars. I don't know. The genre ones I'm not vibing with. Best fantasy, there's Mushoku, finally. Ranking of Kings makes sense. Slime, Vanitas, To Your Eternity, Wonder Egg. But is Wonder Egg every genre in the book? Jeez, like, action, drama, and fantasy? Like, you could at least pick one, maybe two, and then, like, nominate them for other things? I mean, give other shows nods? How many... Wonder Egg is, like, every other category. Jeez. Generally speaking, though, I think these are all fine picks for fantasy. They all make sense to me. I don't know what else off the top of my head that I would even... Dr. Stone, maybe. Otherwise, I feel like they did a pretty good job picking fantasy shows. I'm gonna have to count how many things Wonder Egg shows up in at the end. Best film is the last one. Belle, didn't that just come out last weekend? At least in the US. It doesn't really make sense to me to nominate something that has been out for like 5 days when most people haven't seen it yet. I think like the Reddit awards, the rule is it's nominated for whatever year the Blu-ray releases in, which makes sense because then it's more widely available. I understand, like, if the movie came out in January 2021, so you had an entire year to potentially catch it in theaters or maybe Blu-ray later in the year, that makes sense. I assume this must have come out in Japan a few months ago and that's why it's nominated, but this isn't an award for the Japanese audience, it's an award for the American audience, so nominating this when it's been... I think it came out on Friday, so it's been like 4 days, actually. I don't understand why this is in here. Evangelion, Demon Slayer, Josei, Shirobako, and Words Bubble Up all make sense to me. They're all pretty popular movies. See, like Josei, that was December 2020. So that makes sense. Because it came out in Japanese theaters December 2020, and then I don't remember if it had a limited English run, but then the Blu-ray came out in 2021, so you're able to watch it. But this does not make any sense being nominated in Best Film. Like, I don't know what their rules are, but I feel like they need to clarify them, because that doesn't make sense. I half expected Wonder Egg to show up in here. Given that it shows up in everything else, let's count. How many does Wonder Egg have? Oh, I'm surprised it's not an anime of the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it shows up in 11 out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 11 out of 20. So it's in just over half of all of the categories, 55%. Not to say that I haven't, in my own awards, nominated something for a bunch of categories and had it win a bunch of categories. But in my awards, I have 28, and it's going to be 30 this year. So there's more categories in the first place to show up in, which means there's, you know, a higher chance that it will be in more categories because there's just more possibilities. I don't know. Overall, actually, they barely nominated My Hero for anything this year, which is surprising because usually they're just circle jerking My Hero all the time, even though it's gone downhill over the years, in my opinion. uh, which is kind of surprising. So, all things said and done, going through it, I don't think it's terrible. I feel like I had more problems with the 2018 nominees that I made my video on like 3 years ago for. I would say the issues to me this year are, it just is boring seeing the same shows over and over and over and over again as nominees. And some of the nominations just don't make sense to me. Like, why is Odd Taxi in comedy? Why is Eren in Protagonist and Antagonist? Like, pick one. Preferably Protagonist. So that didn't make sense. Why is Belle here, even though it's been 4 days since it came out? I think they need to clarify why they nominate things when they do. But overall, I feel like at least the things that did get nominated, more often than not, I understand why they were nominated. At least the ones that I've seen, I agree. They're generally good for the things they got nominated for. And if I haven't seen them, from what I've heard from people who I have seen, or who have seen it, either my friends or mutuals on Twitter, or just random comments that I've seen, it seems like they would agree with those things, but I don't know. I just got bored as I went further and further through it, seeing the same, must be like the same 5 to 10 shows showing up over and over again. There was a lot of good stuff that came out this year that didn't show up even a single time. Like My Senpai is Annoying. Vanitas, I'm surprised even got a nomination given how samesies a lot of these were. But I'm happy that did. Link Click was very good, but I understand since that's a Chinese anime. I'm not actually sure what that's called, like Donghua, I think, maybe something like that. I guess that makes sense that it wouldn't show up in here just because it's not Japanese. But it was good. It should show up in some of these. I would have liked to see a best mystery or thriller section. I like those. Where was I going? Oh yeah, good shows that didn't even get nominated. Like Quintuplets Season 2 I thought was pretty good. Much better than the first season. That didn't show up at all. Aquatope on White Sand I thought was very good. Second half not as good as the first half, but I still like the second half, and I think it ended on a really good point. What else? Fruits Basket, I think, probably should have shown up more often than it did. I just binged through all 3 seasons over this last 2 weeks. Very, very much enjoyed it. I feel like you could literally, of their, how many, there's 20 awards here. I think Fruits Basket would have a valid chance to be in Anime of the Year, Boy, Girl, Protagonist, Antagonist, maybe Director, I don't know it as well. Score, Japanese Performance, Opening, Ending, Drama, Romance. That's 11 if I counted correctly as I was saying them. So compared to Wonder Egg, I feel like Fruits Basket also deserves that, but it showed up in 3 of them, maybe. Violet Evergarden, the movie, didn't show up at all. Maybe that was 2020 instead of 2021, based on whatever logic they pick things for. But aside from some shows not showing up at all that I would have liked to, you know, the pretty popular good shows, 86, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu, those all showed up quite a bit, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I don't know, for a site as big as Crunchyroll, like, I understand picking a lot of widely known shows for a lot of these, but like, it might be nice if, because they're an actual anime streaming site who streams a lot more than just the big popular ones, that they really acknowledged some of the strong qualities of those lesser known shows. Are not even lesser known, but like, I don't know. I feel like there should definitely be more variety in the nominees. Like, I don't know. Again, I think people who are online like Crunchyroll is the worst thing to ever exist are clearly are being over dramatic about it. A lot of the nominations do make sense to me. There's a handful that I commented on that I was surprised about, or I just don't really get. But, you know, this is a big jury. I don't know exactly how they decide what to pick. But, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say at this point. I went through it all. I reacted. Yeah, so that's what I think overall about the Crunchyroll Awards. I am planning on doing my annual JDefenseAnime Awards. I've done it for 3 years in a row now. This will be the 4th. Putting a lot of effort into this one, really trying to binge through as many different series as I can, so I have a really good grasp on a lot of the great stuff that came out this year. I'm adding a couple new awards. It'll probably be a little longer than my previous ones, which were already getting close to 50 minutes. So a lot of time and effort being pumped into that. 30 categories. I've seen almost 40 different shows from this year, and I think a lot of them will probably get nominated at least once. Or a good chunk of them will. I don't know how the winners will play out. I haven't decided any of that yet because I'm still binging through stuff, but I'm shooting to have it come out in about 3.5 weeks, or 3 weeks from this weekend, or this approaching weekend. Like, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Somewhere in like the February 10th to 15th range, I think. 12th, 11th, something like that. So if you want to see my opinion on what I thought was the best, keep an eye out on my channel. I'll probably post a trailer for it beginning of February as I start really delving into the editing process and triggering my carpal tunnel, going through and editing everything. Should be a good time. Very stressful to work through, but I have a lot of fun picking the winners and having it debut, even if it only gets like 150 views over the year, or whatever it is that the previous one got. So yeah, keep an eye out. But otherwise, that's what I thought about these. I didn't vote because I don't want to potentially give indications of where I may be leaning in my own things, my own awards. Yeah, if you somehow made it this far, I'm not sure how long it's been. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it was at least 15 minutes, maybe 20. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you're looking for more anime content, I know I was pretty sparse in 2021, but you can go through my channel. I definitely recommend my award videos. Those are what I'm most proud of that I have, or keep an eye out for this year, because I'm trying, or I should say I'm hoping to really get back into it and start putting stuff out more often than I was before, as just 2021 my priorities were elsewhere. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.